impeachment hearing was one huge whoopee cushion, and we both sat on it. Think about it as a crappy horror film. The Dems wrote the script, they took the lead roles and found some experts from a loony bin. Then they had us suckers in cable news act as their theater. Yep, we put on the play, and we covered it like marshmallow on a s'more. And what a play it was.
Never before has a president engaged in a course of conduct that included all of the acts that most concerned the framers.
The framers of our Constitution, familiar to the framers.
The framers' concern, I stand with the framers.
The antithesis of what our framers were committed to. I can't speak for the framers themselves, obviously.
Thank you, Margaret Hamilton. If the framers were alive today, they'd be puking all over these bozos. But the Dems know that whatever they do, we must cover it. Every presser is a moon landing. Every Pelosi announcement is an incoming asteroid. And now the hearings are the equivalent of Trump rallies for the media. True, Trump can fill an arena while CNN can barely fill a room. But if you ask anyone in the news, hey, why are you showing this crap? They'll say, oh, but it's news. In reality, they're only showing it because they know they'll catch heat from their media pals if they don't. It's true, even in broadcasting, peer pressure rules, which is why the Dems know there's just no limit.
There is no limit on the number of times the Senate can vote to convict or not a president. No limit to the number of times the House can vote to impeach or not a president.
So you get that? The Dems see impeachment like playing blackjack with house chips. And we're the House. They can sit at the table forever and keep losing. It doesn't matter because they believe there are no consequences. And, of course, the media plays along.
Welcome to the next and pivotal act in a drama that's about to consume the Trump presidency.
History walked into the House impeachment hearing today.
We are right in the strike zone of a major moment.
This is a historic day here in the nation's capital.
We are at a really critical point.
Of course.
Thank you for sharing this consequential day with us.
What a day yesterday.
What a day. It was quite something to watch.
Oh, you bozos. Everything's critical. Everything's the end of the world. They're all just bitter. Because in this movie called Life, Trump is the star, and now they're just the pathetic extras. Right, Adam?
And now, Adam Schiff takes a guitar lesson.
Okay, so let's start with an easy one. This is E minor.
It's the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even John Bolton. I didn't testify.
I don't know that one, but you say this is your first lesson?
Yes. Jingle bells, Batman smells. Adam laid the foundation for impeachment. Why is he still in office? I wish he'd go away.
Let's try something else. How about a G?
Rudolph Giuliani had some buddies in Ukraine. And if you ever saw him, he would drive you insane. Brown-eyed girl.
One of the best. Why do I even need to do a monologue? So this charade continues, and the serious news takes it seriously because it's so serious. I mean, they actually refer to these experts as witnesses, even though they witnessed nothing. Fact is, the Democrats created a phony show trial using your tax money. It's like finding out your spouse was cheating on you after they bill you for the jacuzzi suite. I mean, why the jacuzzi? But really, we all got played. You tune in to watch The Five, and instead you get this idiot.
The Constitution says there can be no titles of nobility. So while the president can name his son Baron, he can't make him a baron.
Wait, but no, you gotta love this. You gotta love this. She thought she was so clever. But people miss the point. It's not that she made a joke about a child. It's how obviously planned it was. She knew she was on friendly turf, surrounded by her own personal mob. She was chosen specifically to shine, but instead she pooped the bed.
I want to apologize for what I said earlier about the president's son. It was wrong of me to do that. I wish the president would apologize, obviously, for the things that he's done that's wrong, but I do regret having said that.
But that is amazing. She had to swipe at Trump, betraying the entire hearing as a biased agent. But these are little people with little ideas and no idea how to beat Trump other than steal the election from him and really from you, America. Fact is, there's no bipartisan support for this circus, and everybody knows that. Yet they move forward under the claim it's an abuse of power, which now opens them up for that same accusation. After all, using impeachment in a purely partisan effort designed to undo an election, if that's not an abuse of power, what is, Adam?
And now, Adam Schiff solves a Rubik's Cube. This has been Adam Schiff Doesn't Solve a Rubik's Cube. Sorry.
But there was other news, like Trump successfully forcing other countries to pay us the money that they owe us, which is why we hired him in the first place. So the only story, the only story that mattered, world leaders caught laughing about him. How cute. The mean girls at the beauty salon griping about their boss. And let's face it, he is their boss. But Trudeau seemed especially excited to jabber about Trump, like an 8th grader discovering there's a substitute teaching math. Trump called him two-faced, a brilliant jab considering Trudeau's the first prime minister ever to make blackface part of black tie. He really has two faces. I mean, did you see what a good puppy Trudeau was with Trump earlier?
What are you at? What is your number?
The number we talk about is 70% increase over these past years, including, and for the coming years, including significant investments in our fighter jets, significant investments in our naval fleets. We are increasing significantly our defense spending from previous governments that cut it.
Okay. Where are you now in terms of your number?
We're at 135?
1.3.
1.4. And continuing to move forward.
They're getting there.
He treated him like Bret Michaels from Celebrity Apprentice season 9. He should have patted him on the head and said, "Good boy." But the other major offender is a guy named Macron, which I think is Belgian for ferret. He's from some place called France, which I think is where they grow mimes. So they had a laugh, but we got the money, billions of dollars, because Trump told them to pay up or else. So let him squawk. It means Trump's working, and all he's doing really is working. And he was hired by you, who's really the boss, and not him, and he knows that. Meanwhile, the jobless rate matches a 50-year low. No wonder the Dems are so depressed. Right, Adam?
And now, Adam Schiff consoles a grieving friend.
Yeah, can't believe it, man. My pet died.
Congratulations.
No, Adam, I said he died. He was my best friend.
I had a best friend once.
Really? And he died?
Yes. Bruce Willis.
Adam, Bruce Willis is still alive.
Wrong. He was dead the whole time.
Are you talking about the movie The Sixth Sense?
Yes. My favorite documentary. I see guilty people.
Let's welcome tonight's guest. He looks like Where's Waldo if nobody ever found him. Writer and comedian Joe DeVito. And she's so sunny, she's often been blamed for global warming. Attorney and Fox News contributor Emily Campagno. She'll overshare without a care. Host of Sincerely Cat on Fox Nation, Cat Tiff. And he literally is a big thinker. My massive sidekick and host of Nuff Said on Fox Nation, Tyrus. All right. Joe, should Trump be concerned about other world leaders mocking him?
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. Those chattering magpies wasting time at study hall. He does not care what they think at all. And I think it's so funny when he called Trudeau Two-Face, he must have thought, what pictures did they find now? He's like Lon Chaney, the man of 1,000 faces. Yeah, it's so amazing that you could see Trump he was even more bored than we were.
Yeah.
Talking to. I mean, imagine having to sit and listen to stats and info about Canada. I mean, it's a lot to ask from somebody. So he's not worried. I don't even think he's worried about the impeachment process that's going on. It's going to blow up in their faces, and it's going to peak at the wrong point. And people are going to be bored by it. It's going to be old news by the time the election comes around. And he's going to be able to say it was a win.
Yes, exactly. It's going to work in his favor. I think that's true, Emily. Did you find these professors especially pompous, or did you see them as actual experts?
No, I saw them as pompous. It brought me back to law school, and I felt so embarrassed for everyone, for all of us that had to sit through that. And I think, for people who are used to regular court proceedings, this was totally unrecognizable. These were academics who were pronouncing guilt and innocence with their bias clearly showing through. And all of a sudden now, obstruction is resisting some type of oddly undefined process, and we're supposed to just swallow it without questioning it. And the defendant is supposed to swallow it without questioning it. So the whole thing is clearly a farce. And if the Democrats cared about abuse of power, if they actually cared about securing evidence and analyzing it, there wouldn't be a rush. They would be waiting for the January court proceedings, the McGahn testimony, the Mueller grand jury evidence to come out like they were crying about before, and they would be taking their time because this is a big deal. And instead, they're ramming it down our throats.
It's a garbage scene, Cat. That's what it is, garbage. I thought I'd yell it a few times just for effects.
That is effective.
Are the Dems overplaying their hand?
Look, when I think about impeachment, which is, all the time.
Yes.
I think it's just crazy to think that it all started because of a phone call that people were listening to. Like, that must be so crazy to have all your phone calls being listened to. Like, I freak out about being on the phone because I'm worried that I sound weird, whatever. If mine were being listened to, I would have been impeached from at least my local deli by now. You know? But that's not a thing. They'd make it one. And the bottom line is, if you were wondering if I could turn a conversation about impeachment into one about myself and my insecurities,
yes.
Voila!
Yes.
I did it.
Tyrus, wrap it up for us. What was your thoughts about this week?
Okay, so I generally try to avoid CNN as much as possible.
Yes.
I put it on the porn safety lock on my remote. You can do that.
I didn't know.
Yeah. And what did they do? They came to Washington. It was a CNN panel with the Democrats. It was just like their shows. 3 angry Democrats and 1 poor Republican who's like, I just like everyone to calm down. I'm going to say some facts. Boo, shut up. We hate you. I mean, it's literally, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And I did my best because, you've been on me about not watching stuff.
Yes.
So I watched it hard.
Yes.
And I was literally like this the whole time. And when one second, Cat. And when I woke up, guess what happened?
What?
Everyone still felt the same.
Yes.
Also, that Republican didn't even vote for Trump. He's a pretty anti-Trump Republican.
Yeah.
And just the fact that he had a nuanced view, they were like, yeah! Way to try to get some, people to get along with you.
Yeah, the funny thing is, he's such a non-Republican. He's actually a Democrat. I think Turley's a Democrat.
No, he's not. He said wafer thin. He has a filthy mouth and he's a hater. They hate him. Wafer thin is the new cuss word.